Can you hear me? No, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yep,
Okay, can you let Cheryl in?
she has to request.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Hello.
Hey! So,
They
how's
keep
everybody doing?
keep saying to start the stage, so I don't know if it's started or what's up.
Yes, it started, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
Saying
it
start the stage.
started.
all right, awesome. I'm
I
still a
don't know.
newbie at this stuff. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Good, good, good.
Welcome to April 10th, 2022, everybody. So, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be popping up within this next week, not only energy wise. Of course, with the energy, the light flowing in. Actually, it's not flowing in anymore. It's more like being blasted in. There's no way that any darkness can hide from this within ourselves and in the grand arena of our world. There's going to be a lot that is going to be revealed this week. At least that's what's planned. Um, Now, with the other side not wanting that truth to come out, may hope, uh, try to put a little monkey wrench into that, but hopefully not. So that's why I will speak upon it tonight. So just to get it out there, and so at least people on here watching this now and later will at least have a general idea of what's coming. Um, there's a lot of truthers out there that have been in touch with Dr. Artis, who is a beautiful physician that has been helping humanity in this wave of COVID-19. And he was actually in touch with a physician, a scientist that was down in Pittsburgh. Go PA. And so this guy in Pittsburgh found out some really hinky stuff that was going on with this whole COVID, and he brought Dr. Artis into it. After they were speaking for a while and he did some individual research and background checks and all that kind of stuff. The guy in Pittsburgh, this scientist, was shot and killed. And so now, in order to not talk about exactly what's going on, because under legalities and such like that, we're really not allowed to. So it's more or less stuff will be broadcasted tomorrow night at 6 p.m. or Monday night, 6 p.m. About this wave of information surrounding COVID and where it originates from. And all I can say, because this is what was leaked, was it involves our water and it involves snake venom. And that's all I can say because that's all I know. So I'm not too sure how it's all linked up or anything like that, but all that was said on Stu Peters is that. And so that's all I've said because that's all I know, and I don't want to get into conjecture or what this could be or go down that crazy uh, path. I just want to respect what Dr. Ernest wanted and what the rest of the truthers have agreed to. And I know that that was spoken about on Stu Peters, so that's all I can say is because that's all that's out there. And so that going forward, and oh, Dr. Group also put something on his telegram just saying avoid all city water, drinking it, ingesting it, sauces that were made of it, or whatever the case would be, avoid restaurants with that kind of thing. That's all was said, so that's all I know. Um, so that going forward with that, uh, just be mindful that our bodies are amazing, and whatever they're throwing at us, a lot of us have been able to be able to handle whatever they've been throwing at us. And the ones with a beautiful immune system, um, we're seeing that how miraculous our bodies are at healing and at toxin removal, and how us being aware and knowledgeable will help us navigate the waters ahead, whatever that may be, because it's been going on for a while, I guess, but nobody knows the depth of it, and so that's going to be released tomorrow. Um, so all I can say is I know that our bodies and spirit working hand in hand will get us through anything. So I guess going forward with this too is ways to keep our bodies healthy, like food grade hydrogen peroxide is a miraculous tool that I know I've used it myself. My kids have used it. I actually gave it to my mom this weekend for her um, toxin release, and it is helping clear out her lungs and her head, using it as a nebulizer with iodine. And Dr. Bacola actually has that on his site, um, the formula to use. I use personally just 1 drop of each in saline solution. And I have these individual saline packs that I use, and I squirt that in there and drop, drop. And it's real fast and easy. And I find that even doing a treatment after being in a area that the frequencies of the toxins are flowing like the river. We come home and we do that, and we feel a lot better. It is a wonderful way to preserve our lung tissue, which this is what this toxin seems to like to go in and do. Um,
Do you know it's hard to find the iodine? Like my Walmart did not carry it
oh
anymore.
yeah, yeah. They're stripping it from those stores
Uh
purposely.
huh.
So I probably search. I'm not saying Amazon because I'm trying to stay away from Amazon too.
Yeah.
But
I went to
there,
my local drugstore, but there was not much choice there. So I was like, wow.
so I know we got Woogles, but then there's another one that is kind where you can squirt. Um, it's called Infinite Iodine, and Doc of Detox.com has that on sale, and it's only like 16 something. And you squirt
Mm.
it in the back of your throat, but you can also put it in a nebulizer as well. And that uh, it goes right back to the back of your throat where it assists. It goes boom right into your bloodstream, so that it
But
helps clear
a
out.
drop of this in your water clears it too, right?
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
so that's what we were on Doc of Detox just this weekend looking at things, uh, and they have it for on sale, and it's a spring to summer sale, so it's actually lower price than usual, and so they have it in stock. And I know that they actually have a facility in PA that helps with the packages and such. And I know that they also have um, these protectors and these little crystals that you can wear around your neck as well. And it helps create this bio um, kind of like sphere around you. If you get it from the
Yeah, the
house,
EMF,
yeah, the
EMF like we're seeing
house,
stuff. Yeah.
and then the
Mhm.
one that goes like if you put it on a farm, it'll go through that the whole entire acreage. So there's that. There's all kinds of things there. Um, then there's all kinds of sites, and then there's Melaleuca, who has I just oiled a bunch of oils from them, and they have all kinds of stuff there. Then there's um, Body
Yeah.
Align. They have patches that you can wear, put on that help with the frequencies. They have
Shungite's a natural stone that cleans water and air and all that stuff too. The
per-
shungite.
yes, but you
Yeah.
got to make sure it's programmed because a lot of them aren't
Right.
programmed, and so you got to
Right.
program that. Then there's Life Wave that also has a lot of patches that help with frequencies and bring it in the frequencies of like glutathione and such like that. Because my youngest, he can't take glutathione because he has a gag reflex. So I found a patch that goes on him that helps him greatly. And Brady wears it to work religiously, and it helps him because he's around a lot of people with different frequency outputs. That's a different term. They have different frequency outputs, and so it helps reduce uh, eruptions of, say, frequencies that we don't necessarily want in our bodies. And that's what's being broadcasted out there. So we have to be mindful of that. And we have to um, protect our beautiful temples that house this beautiful spirit of ours. And so this is what it is about going forward and manifesting uh, beautiful um, experiences to let's think of places where we want to live and live, off the grid and kind of like away from the society that is trying to keep us from escaping. There's all kinds of things. I was in a call today about silver and gold, and it was where you can buy little pieces of silver for like $2 or $500. It depends on what you want to do, and you can start like this wallet where you can keep it in a vault, which is in Idaho, or you can have it shipped to you, and then you have little silver pieces on hand, depending on how much you want to spend. And so the boys and I were looking at that too, going forward. Um, After we do our Melaleuca and the the stuff that flows through with that, and investing in gold and silver, because the dollar is falling in value, and it's all this how to be sovereign. How are we going to take our lives back? How are we going to become sovereign? How are we going to not be a part of the the structures that have kept us from succeeding or for only going so far unless you're part of the elite class? How can we make a life for ourselves of simplicity and love and abundance, but without the bullshit that comes with it? And how can we gain this personal sovereignty? Because I know some people are now s- starting to accept silver and gold as a payment for things. And you could do this on this wallet that they have. And same with like the crypto wallets. It's kind of like geared off to that, where you have a online wallet, and say you have, I don't know, $2,000 worth of silver sitting in this account, and then you can buy from certain establishments that are signing up for this too with silver instead of buying it with the dollar, which is losing its value as we speak. And they're trying to run it into the ground because they want to bring on this other kind of currency. Now, there's a digital currency they want, and then there's the QFS currency, which is the more quantum. And the more quantum one is goes after dealing with financial ways in a higher consciousness state, and it won't permit or allow things to happen in a certain frequency. They'll just go, no, you cannot trade this money for child trafficking. I mean, basically prevent that because it's actually a quantum system. It has all, it's run on consciousness and where you are on a consciousness level. And that's where we have to reach a certain consciousness level in order to participate in that. Because, of course, anything good and beneficial towards humanity, also that technology, as we know, can be used not for that, as what we've seen
Yeah.
through governments, schooling, and all that other stuff. Everything has been taken and inverted and used for not necessarily beneficial things. Beneficial to them, yes, but not beneficial to the sovereign being that we are.
I started dabbling with the Bitcoin, but then they kind of starting to take that over already. So I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, yeah.
That bailed out.
Yeah, it's where you feel aligned to go. Like I didn't feel aligned to go to Bitcoin at all. I know that's even some of the other, truthers and light workers. They've dabbled in it and are doing some stuff in it, but I just don't feel aligned with it. And that's what it's all about. What
Right.
you feel aligned with at that moment in time.
I
And
think
that's
they're already taking over it. That's why.
I'm sure there's tons of it that everything's got their fingers in it, and so we have to go where we feel aligned, and where we feel that our where we want our attention to go, where um, what's really happening on the outside and what's going on the inside. When you start to clean up your inside, then what you see, feel, touch, and perceive is much different than I mean, looking at it now compared to what 10, 15 years ago, we're a totally different state of consciousness than we were 10, 15 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Just and look how far even just 6 months ago. Look where we're grown, you know, and even just a month ago.
I was gonna say every week I've like getting wave after wave of like knocking me off the feed of like change and downloads, and it's just intense.
It is, and this week is going to be even more so, and then the week after that, and then the week after that, and it's just going to be this intensity that just doesn't stop. But that's what's good is that it's really stirring up the stuff in our lives that is no longer in alignment with where we're going. And we can
Can't
either
say that I'm bored anymore. That's for sure. I was like,
no.
let's go, get the tower over. Now I'm like, whoa, slow down a little bit, just a little.
It's like now we're gonna put you on a hyper speed train that goes this way,
Yeah.
and it is. It's like everything is starting to manifest quicker in our lives than it ever has before. Because you would think about something, it would take forever to come to fruition, and now it's like boom, boom, and I'm like, whoa.
Oh yeah.
And, you were seeing how powerful it is, and that's how, with all the distractions that are out there, we have to be mindful of that because they're telling us what to see. They want to tell us how to feel, see, how to act, how to just all parts of being. And we have to disengage from that and we have to decide what we want for ourselves. Where do we want to go for ourselves? What feels good for us? Um, what's when we put our foot into that, does it feel good? And then we put our foot into a little further, does it still feel good? And if not, you can back out and say, nope, that's all good. No, not for me. Not at this time.
Yep.
Okay. And that's what it's all about. Feeling out what is a good fit. Feeling out all aspects of life of what that's supposed to be. Because once you step in, if it's aligned, then the synchronicities will line up very quickly and will just flow. And like all this information is flowing in at me for different ways of being because you open yourself up to that. Okay, show me. ways of being in a different frequency, even than what it was just a minute ago. And yourself will go, okay, here you go, bloop bloop bloop, and then we'll just put a song in front of you, a person, you bring in everything, and that's what's so amazing. It's
And if
so
you're not
amazing,
aligned, it doesn't take very long to figure that out too. And
right?
don't keep going with it. Step back out of it. I just did that, so I know
Yeah,
for a fact.
yeah, because it's not aligned, and it felt icky,
Right.
and it felt
Uh-huh.
no, this doesn't
It
feel
was
good
a
or right.
struggle. It was not right,
Yep,
and I just whoop. People looked at
exactly,
me like, "How can you do that?" I'm like, "Why?
right,
I knew it was right."
right, and that's how you just know. And that's the beautiful thing is that's part of ourselves coming and rediscovering who we are is that is there all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
we just ignored it. We wanted to give everybody the benefit of the doubt or the situation the benefit
Mm-hmm.
of the doubt. And oh no, like today, um, just flowing with things and things were coming in like nobody's business, and it was just like oh my gosh, and it wasn't like an overwhelm. It was more just things will flow to me the way they're supposed to flow to me, and it all just happened today, and it's
Today was
magical.
pretty smooth. Today was smooth for a change. Like
Good.
I was at work and time flew fast, and like I play this little game. It's just so silly. When I'm doing the meet, if I can get it then right on, it's amazing because you use it over or under. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
I did it 9 times today. That does not happen.
Mastery. That
And
is
I was like,
mastery.
oh,
Good.
yeah,
Good.
it was strange, but yeah, cool.
Well, we'll
I play
find
these
that
little mind games.
happens. Yeah. Things will happen like that over and over again if we're open to it. And we're open to seeing
Uh-huh.
it. You know,
Uh-huh.
because before we weren't.
I even play a game if I'm like having a funky day or whatever. I'm like, okay, universe, show me something different or show me some synchronicities. The last time I did that, there was two horses riding downtown Clarion. It
Yeah,
was
that's
funny.
just yeah. So see,
Uh
they show you in a big way, or
huh.
they can show you in a small little way, like a song will come on the
And
radio, or the
oh, I do that all the time.
or the numbers on a clock, or you know, or a bird flying by, and it will
Yeah.
just sing to you, and you're like, whoa.
This one time, I kept seeing a little, like a younger kid or a baby with one shoe, like all day, like one shoe, and I'm like, and I started laughing. I'm like, yep, missing a shoe. Yep, missing a shoe.
And that's you know, and that's it's you're trying to talk to yourself, like, hey, pay attention, pay attention, and that's what it is. We just pay attention for once, and we're just
Instead of going through
allowing.
the motions, right? You're paying attention and watching little
Yeah,
things.
yeah, we're not in robot mode anymore. We're not,
Uh-huh.
and like yesterday with this whole water thing, I got myself all bent out of shape, and I started, you know, like getting upset. And I'm like, and I said,
No,
Brady goes, "Mom, you need a hug," and it just like reset me to this is what it's about, my boys and me, and how I need to step into the knowing that we are okay, that everything like that. Because you know, you think about it, you're like, holy fuck, and what's coming
this has
is
been going on since we're younger with the fluoride and everything, though. This is nothing
yeah,
new.
and so it's just like, ugh. And so I'm like, you know what though, too, is we have to go back to basics where we make our own bread. We don't use the city water. We use our water to make the bread. We make our water to make the tea and not get it in a bottle. You know, convenience stuff. We to step away from that and start actually going back to basics. What you know is going into your bread. What you know is going into your tea. What you know that's going into your smoothies. What you know is going into this and that and this and that. We take that out of their hands and we put it back into our hands where
That's
we
the first
know
step, but then they
exactly.
push you through the air with the chemtrails. So
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen. We
it
just need to,
is
our body needs to adapt and detox and
detox and taking stuff back. Like the kids and I, we're gonna start making our bread. I remember doing that. I got my dad when I first started working at Kmart when I was I was I was in college, 18. Yes, so I left McDonald's and went to Kmart. And it's my first paycheck. I got my dad for Father's Day a bread maker, and oh my God, he loved that thing. And I remember, we knew exactly what was going inside that bread. We made it, and it was fun. We got to play and make all different kinds of breads and stuff like that. And I remember making things from scratch with my grandma, and we started doing that, like making goulash and my father-in-law's potato soup, and doing all this stuff from scratch. That we knew
Mhm.
everything that went into it was organic. Um, that my father-in-law uses organic, far from that, but we chose organic route. We chose, instead of two putting in milk, we put in almond milk, and so it was a little bit easier on our systems. And we're in charge of that, and we're in charge of, like, I just going to the store and buying bread. We won't have to do that any longer because we'll know exactly what's going inside of our bread. We don't have, I make rolls, pizza crusts to cinnamon rolls, whatever they want, in that capacity. Because I know they're not, they don't want to go full vegetarian or vegan, and I gotta respect where they're at. So it's things like that we take that back. And I'm growing sprouts right now. Like, I took broccoli and alfalfa sprouts, and I take the little seeds, and I pour water in the mason jars, and then with the cheesecloth I put over that, and I put the water in and let it sit overnight, and then I drain it, and then I keep watering it and draining it for like 4 days, and then you got a whole shit ton of sprouts that I put in my smoothies. And these sprouts are even more nutritious than the actual full grown, like, head of broccoli.
yeah, I got mine on order. It's just everything's back ordered on Amazon. That's the only thing I've got. I've looked around here. I can't find it at the farmer market things or nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
and that's what
sprout.
they like. They like, that's the whole plan too, was to have that happen. And my mom went to Tractor Supply and
Couldn't find it
found
there.
and she found what did she find? It was like an herbal uh, garden mix, and then a whole bunch. So we're gonna start doing her um, garden next week. It should be a lot warmer. Oh, and the hummingbirds are coming back to PA. So got our hummingbird feeders already, and to make our own nectar, which is really simple, just water and raw sugar.
Yeah, that's better than the dyed stuff.
Oh my gosh, and it makes them sick. It makes
Mm-hmm.
them sick. And so little things that we could do, and then they come around and they pollinate the flowers, and it's just the natural cycle of everything. I got my little mason bee house outside, and it's just ways that we can help nature take care of us. And just like the pine needles, I went out and did some foraging of the pine needles, and to make my pine needle tea, and the grapefruits and the lemons with the hydrochloroquine. It's just little things that. And I met up with my high school friend, and was just talking up a storm about all the stuff I've been doing, and he was totally amazed that um, the little things that you could do to take your health back, take your life back. And we were talking about. He sent me something about, he goes, I just got an email about gold and silver. I go, oh my God, I did too. But it was something totally different. He goes, I don't feel good about these people. So I sent him two links that I know are more aligned with, not trying to steal your money kind of thing. They're really just
Right.
truly aligned with making or assisting you to become sovereign. And so I saw those two links, and it's just been he's awakening, and it's so cool to watch because he just, he was with Trump and all that other stuff, but then now he's starting to see wider, and he's starting to awake to more things. And we spent, I don't know how long it was with Brady. It was all. We went to dinner for like 2 hours, and then we went driving around, and we went back to his parents, and I talking to his parents, truth bombing the crap out of that. But they allowed it. They were like open to it, and it was so refreshing that they were open to what I had to say, even down to talking about their shoulders and how to help and what emotions are stuck in there. And I was feeling into it, and they're like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "You can do this too. It's not just me. You can do this for yourself."
Mm-hmm.
And they're just totally blown away how all
I've
that
got a friend that
worked.
years ago she had classes where she just went through her field and around her house and showed us all the little plants that you can forage just right there, right?
Yeah.
And she said she's been working on like part of the Allegheny Trail up here, and they want her to do a forage class for them a couple times
Oh,
too to show
sweet.
people. Yeah,
That's yeah, because even the weeds that grow out in your yard, because I
right.
had like this plant identifier thing. I thought it was the coolest thing. So I'm like, bop, boop, 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 and I was looking them all up, what you could use for different things with these weeds,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
I just let them all grow because the bees are going, crazy, and so are the butterflies because they're pretty flowers on them as well. But they're all some of them aren't so beautiful. They're a little gnarly, but they're also, hey, yeah, you could take this and, it's good for stomachs or it's good for that. So, like, hell yeah, I'm going to keep them around. And they
Yeah.
grow exactly what your soil is telling you what you need to grow because of the toxins in the air. It is beautiful how nature takes care of you and how all
I've
these
got
weeds
some
are out
books.
there.
I just don't trust it, but she's so good at it. Like I've been to her house before years ago when my kids were little, and I did this with her, and I was just amazed at the amount of stuff that you think, like I said, weeds or little wildflowers that are so useful and edible and medicinal and everything. You just have no
Yes.
clue.
Yeah.
Tons.
And they're perfect for the neighborhood you live in, the community you live in. Everything is grown here specifically for the toxins that we run across all the time. And that's what's amazing is how, you know, people like, I remember my allergies, them giving me the pills and popping the pills and all the allergy medicines I was on. And it was horrific. All the steroids that they would put my body full of. I'm still getting rid of those. And here it is right outside my back door.
Uh-huh.
Anything I've ever needed.
Colt's foot's really good. I picked some of that a couple years ago.
Oh, good, good. And
Have you ever used Colt's foot? You can even
no,
put it in like
like
smoke it or tea or
or
whatever because it's
tea.
good for your lungs.
That's
It's
good.
it's also good for your lungs. It'll clear that all that. What it does, it just makes you cough all the phlegm out, like like an expectorant.
Yeah, good, good. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing is everything is there for for us to use, and that's perfect. And that nature just takes care of us, pure and simple. And that's I just can't get enough of it. I really can't. It's all just right there, right there. Just like the pine needles, I ask, and I find pine needles on the ground just fallen that I could use in my pine needle tea. I don't need to go clip them or anything off the tree. They have already fallen, And
I'm still struggling with my thyroid a little bit though, because I'm not sure. I've had the medicine for so long, and I went off for about a month now.
yeah, how you
Now my
feel?
glands are swelled. Well, I was fine until last week. Now my glands are swollen up. I'm starting to gain weight, and I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Well, it could be just that's what happens when we come off these things, that they're so toxic that the toxins swell up into our lymph nodes and it's trying to flush it out. So, um, where it's inflamed, does it hurt?
Yeah,
Okay, so tap it,
a little bit.
just tap it a little bit, and then you'll start the circulation part of it, and it starts moving the lymph nodes, and it starts moving that lymphatic system, and it helps start to flush it out. So if you just tap it a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, if it bruises, is actually showing you where the toxins are actually at. Like
I was
sometimes
doing a
they're
little bit
stuck.
of facial too. The
Right.
cups to make it drain. You know what I mean? Little facial cups,
Oh,
little
okay.
sexy cups.
Well,
That too, but
that's kind of like the same. It's putting
same
pressure on
concept.
it, and so if I
Okay.
know, like if you clap, like if you just smack it, that it will actually help. Like even on your face, it will help move the circulation. It'll help move the lymphatic system to actually help begin to flush that out because it's so toxic that it moves it
That's what I was
away.
wondering. I'm like, should I start go back to my meds or what? I'm just like, oh, I was doing
No,
so
so
good.
try that first, where it's because of course your body's gonna go, what the hell? You haven't produced this in a long time. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! But
Because it's been on for so many years.
it
Hmm.
takes there's so much toxicity in that, and then your body has to start producing it again.
Right.
And so that's why the iodine is good at iodine rich foods, even like the
Yeah,
sea.
well, I've got an herbal complement to that. You know what I'm
Oh, okay,
saying?
good. Oh, good.
I've got the iodine and all the different herbs in it. It's a
Okay.
supplemental.
Oh, good,
I
good.
started taking.
Because that will help. But yeah, what it takes the lymph is pulling it out of the cells that were surrounding the thyroid, of course, and everything that was
Okay.
there. So it pulls it out. And in order for our body to protect the organs, we we become swollen. Like even fat will be placed
Yeah.
upon us because it's stored in that fat. And so when we tap it, it starts to move it around. And so that we work on our gut too, because of course our gut is our second brain, and it helps um, with the serotonin and the melatonin levels, and it starts moving that stuff around. So our whole body's toxic. We just gotta look at it that way. We're just a bunch of waste dumps. So we have to clean up our our um, our large intestine, our colon, our liver. I mean, our liver is taxed, so that it goes to the pancreas, and it goes to the kidneys, and it goes
Yeah.
to all these
Yeah.
other. It,
Flushing them with the teas and stuff because
yeah,
that's where mine's been coming out.
yeah, and so we just gotta keep at it because we are overloaded with all these med toxins. The metals that they put in that crap is, and all the other toxins that are in there. And so our body is just like, "Wah!" So it is, it's pulling out all that. If we, because it's been so dormant, because when we use those medicines, we're kind of like put into, it's kind of like a masking of the functioning of our normal lymphatic system has broken
Yeah.
down and slowed down to a creepy crawl. And so we just got to start bringing life back to it again, and clapping it, and actually move it along. You can actually take it and move, um, and just push on your lymphatic system and just talk to it. Talk to your body about it too. Say, okay, lymphatic system, I love you. I'm sorry that um,
Don't get irritated. It's okay.
yeah, it's gonna be okay. You got this. I know you do. Yes, I had this medication and I thought I was doing right by you, but now I know that you can take care of yourself, and
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah, it's
heal
been
you.
like 25 years
Yeah,
I was on it.
yeah. So it's just gonna take time for your body to switch back into normal gear, and that's when you start talking to it, loving it. This is part of it. You're like, okay, I got off the meds, so let's love ourselves to this ultimate level and
Well, that's
nourish
the
it.
problem. I got scared and took one like this morning, so now I got it back in my system. So I got to start over again and flush it out.
Yeah, it's just it, and we're just saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and it will happen. It will happen because our bodies are so miraculous that it just heals itself. If we just let it go, it heals itself. And then if we sit and work with our bodies and talk to our bodies and intentionalize the shit out of things, it just works even faster. Because like finally you're listening to me. All right, let's get this show on the road. Um, all right, let's do this thing. And it actually wants to work with us. Um, so yeah, we just gotta respect ourselves that we got this.
Yeah,
And
because even when I was on it, I kept working energy with my thyroid and kept working with it, and they had to keep adjusting it and keep lowering it and keep lowering it.
yeah,
So I'm like, oh, I can do this. And then, like I said, I got a little scared. I'm like, oh crap.
yeah, and that's what it is. It's just like we're used to. Okay, if we're gonna be on this med, then we're supposed to be managing it, maintaining it, and but no, it's actually killing it off so that we can the supply of this hormone will be through these meds, and
Mhm.
it actually really isn't doing it because then it's gonna expect us to get on even more meds and then even more meds and then even more meds. It's just a beautiful system that they have set up. So just
Oh, I
stepping
know.
away from that.
Yeah, this is the last med I'm on, and like I said, I was doing really good for a month, and then I was just like, oh, I got a little scared and took one, and I think that just bounced my system worse. So
Well, how about
it's okay.
just
We'll start again.
it's a learning experience and you go back at it again and do you have any natural paths? Because even them, ugh. But because even like a nutritious or a natural path, a lot of them have been schooled in the old ways, and so they don't know about energy medicine. They don't know about frequency. They don't know about any of that. They're just what the Rockefeller way of wording stuff. Even some of the natural paths. They don't know everything. So
Mhm.
it's that's why we have to. They can give us guidance, but then our bodies have to tell us what it needs over, say, what is suggested by a nutritionalist or something. Where okay, you can suggest this, this, and this, but does it mean that my body needs that? Body, what do
I
you
listened to
need?
what my body's craving, and it's the last month or so. It's been green, green, green. I want green stuff.
Good, good, because that's very healing for the thyroid.
Oh,
Very
okay.
healing for the thyroid.
I've
Anything
been eating
green,
guacamole like it's going out of style.
yes,
Guacamole.
yes, and that's what they've led me to do too. Is I got my avocados downstairs and I throw it right in my smoothie, and it actually makes it nice and velvety, kind of a rich smoothie. And I have my greens from my algae and uh, my seafood stuff, my sea greens, and then I also have it's like a what the hell is it called? I always tell the kids, "Do you want me to put this in your stuff?" No. Um,
But kelps
it's like
or seaweed or
it's
something.
seaweed. It's like a seaweed, yeah. And so it's a dried
Kelp.
one, and it
Kelp.
comes. Is that I don't think it's kelp. Poop. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, I put it in my smoothies, and I can tell right away if I don't put it in that day, or if I don't have it, I can tell the next day. I'm like sore, I'm like achy. I'm like ooh, and this is like gives you 93 minerals of all the 103 minerals your body needs, Just in this one thing. Hey Brady, if you're downstairs, can you go and get that blue package that's in the cupboard downstairs? My seaweed stuff. I don't know if he's listening or not.
He's on there, but I don't know if he's
Yeah.
listening.
Sometimes, sometimes he's just like, "Oh, well, here, mom, just because I love you." Um, Let me text him. It's a beautiful thing about texting. But there you go.
On a
Real
different
quick.
subject, remember you told
Yeah.
me about my manager and how, I don't know if this was on live when we were talking about it. Basically, not to even say anything, but just to look at her and say, like, my higher self sees your higher self, like that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We were alone in the break room, which never happens because we usually don't even around each other that much. And the break room's usually full. So I looked at her and I said that. And then I just started talking about, she was out trout fishing, started talking about fishing and camping and stuff. Now she's actually nice to me. Like she even see me today, was like, "Oh, have a good night" and stuff. And I'm like, "Okay."
Ah,
Uh-huh.
it's
Yep.
magic.
Yep. But I already decided to get out of the bakery and change my hours from 2 to 11, which will put me mainly in the deli. But
No.
still, but it resolved before I even moved. I've got a couple more weeks, so I'm like, there we go.
Yep, and that's the beautiful thing is that you see.
Still, yeah, she's still in the over department, both departments a little bit, but still, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
she's done it in your face.
Right. So I'm
Yeah.
not like, yeah. So eventually, when I go to nights, I've only see her maybe once a week or so. That's not as bad, but still,
Okay. See,
that
and
was like, me. Yep.
yep,
I
and
tried
that's
to kill with kindness for months, 6 months. I tried.
and that's the trick is that you see the God in her. You just see the God. You see the higher self. You see that that beautiful light that's inside of everybody. But it depends on how
Yep.
much they're
Past
willing
the
to
mean
see.
little kid, past the mean little kid that was burning ants. I seen
Yeah.
it,
Yep.
and I talked to it. And now it
Yep.
stepped forward. I was like, there we go, finally.
Exactly. And it takes that stepping out and going, okay, can I see the God in this plant? Yeah. Can I see this in this dog? Of course. Can I see it in this person? Ooh. And that's where you're okay. This challenge is, yeah. Can I see that person with that God spark in there?
And
That's,
it's changed her attitude totally
yeah.
towards me.
Yeah.
Totally. I
Yep.
was like, wow.
Yeah. It's magical, magical stuff. Is once we acknowledge that it was like a part of them just wanted to be seen,
I think
you know,
so.
it just wanted to be seen and treated like the beautiful soul that they are. Um, that's what most people are. Good freaking people, you know. Yeah, you got a couple bad players out there, and some of them you can see who the hell hurt you. Oh my gosh, what did you do? What have you seen and what did you go through in order to be like this to other people and to hurt people the way that you are? Is what
Right.
kind of
I seen
trauma?
that. I
What,
seen the mean and I seen the hurt little kid, but I couldn't get past it. And I was trying to kill her with kindness and it did not work.
no, because
So
sometimes
I had
that
to
they see that as an
step over
attack.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's we have to take the higher aspect. That's what I would always go in to anybody's higher self, and that would be like my secret passageway into them and seeing everything that I needed to see and know was through that channel. And higher self to higher self, you get it all. And you're like, oh my God. You know, because then you really get
You
that.
told me that and I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, I've been trying everything. And then I'm like, well, we're gonna do it. And I did it and I was like,
Yay!
what the what? I'm
Yay!
like, come on. I'm like
Magic!
really freaking it was so easy. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah,
I've been
magic.
struggling and fighting for 6 months.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Yep.
I know I'm
The
dramatic,
hard
but it was
the
extreme.
the hardest things is okay, I got this. If I can accept it is more accepting yourself as who you are and loving yourself that you're able to even comprehend doing that to another. Because you get so stuck in your personality and your psychology and the ooh, you are mean and getting past that and zooming in and seeing and you just start treating them like that and you acknowledge that and they're like, wow, you're the first person who saw me for me. And it happens on such an energetic level in their energy body that they don't even know what's come over them because it's just like, yeah, I see you. I see you exactly. And sometimes it scares people because I would go in and I would zoom in and I would see their God self, but I would also see the funk. I'm like, well, let's look at this. I go, this funk here is only this is what's it's just these layers that you need to peel back. And some people get scared with that. They don't know how to do that. And it's just going to take time because, you know, to be called out on the carpet, you know, about yourself is really, really a hard thing to do. But when you see them for who they are originally, is this beautiful soul. And all this shit is just piled on top. And it's all other people's belief systems and your belief systems that you acquired from other people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it is
She's still mean to a lot of the other ones, but now she's nice to me, and I don't think she even knows why.
no, she has not a clue why, and that's okay too, because maybe someday she will. She'll go, "Whoa, you're the only one who saw me." But ones
Mm-hmm.
that are awakened to that, which they will be, many people will be getting on this. Amanda Lawrence puts it the best, the train, and she spoke of how we're all on this train to a new kind of reality, to a new way of consciousness, a new way of being. And we've all been trucking along on this train for, so some of us 10, 15 years, some of the people even before that. Trucking along, and we're picking up passengers as we go. And she spoke about how this train recently got off the tracks at um, like in January, and we all just like blah out of the train. We're all swimming around in this shit yet again that we tried to get ourselves out of, right? But no, we need to
Mm-hmm.
immerse ourselves in this because we need to be we need to master ourselves within that funk. And so we're
Yeah.
milling around in that funk, and it was so heavy and so, oh my gosh, here's the next level of fuckery that we have to see and participate in or not participate in. Um, blah blah blah, whatever the case may be. But now we're all getting back on the train. Boop boop. And so we're feeling and just sensing the call to go towards get back on the train again, to go and get more people. And down the
Mm-hmm.
road from us will be a whole bunch of unconscious people. But we pick them up because we're all going there. We're all going
Yeah, but
to
have you noticed too? Some of the spiritual people got off on a depot and they got stuck in this depot for a little
yes.
bit. And some of us moved on.
Yes, and so we decided to go. All right, we're gonna head back to the train now, and other people have decided to get off and go get the Jabberdo. Go and do this. Go and get this. Go and do this, and go off on their little parts of the tree and go down into the pit of shit. And oh, we're gonna go and experience this, but you know, we're waiting for everybody to come back to this train so that we can go on to the next stop to pick up the next passengers, which will be a mass amount of unconscious people. Because we're all going to
Mhm.
wake up in all of our different ways. We're all moving in our own different way of remembering. So it's like,
One thing about sitting in the break room is you listen to people. Well, I listen to people anyways and watch
yes,
people.
Yes.
And people are talking about how they don't want to listen to the news anymore. They don't believe any of the stuff that's going on, like even the war, that they don't even know who's the bad guy and da 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 da. And I'm like, you're right. You're absolutely right. And it's like amazing. This conversations would not have been going on a couple years ago.
Or even 6 months ago.
Exactly.
It's amazing. Even a month ago, people are just waking up, and it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see. And some people are still stuck in it, and that's okay too, because they're still getting on the train with us. And we're going off to this new world of being, a new way of being. We're gonna be here in this world, but it's gonna be just a different level of consciousness. And it's not even a level of consciousness, it's more of who we are. This consciousness is inside of us, and it always has been. So it's not even a level of consciousness. It's just we
the
are.
blinders are coming off.
The blinders are coming off. The peeling
veil thin
of these layers of shit that was placed on top of it. And we placed it, other people placed it, society placed it, you name it, placed it. And we're just peeling it off and going, okay. And then they're going to wake up through something that has to happen. It just has to happen because it's going to be a brutal mass awakening when all this shit flies out. And that's what they signed up for. Listen, we want to be asleep as long as possible because this stuff is really, it's going to be really, really intense. And we'd rather have just a big, huge truth bombs blow up all at once instead of having us, like we chose, to be, have a decade or more of this crap.
No.
And so everybody has chosen their path. And just like my friend from high school, he's waking up. He woke up after he got like the second jab or due, and then he decided, hey, something's not right here. And he didn't get any of the boosters or anything like that. And so he's starting to see what's going on. That something ain't right. And so it's the awakening, and it's the ones who are regretting it. Like, oh, I regret this big time. But then there's other ones who've chosen, oh, this is exactly what we're supposed to do. It just depends on where everybody's at. And it's spiritual, quote unquote, spiritual people or not spiritual people. It doesn't matter who you are. You're all getting on the train. And whether you're jabbed or not, whether you are spiritual or not, whether if you're an atheist or not, you're all getting on a train. We're all going to go down this way together. And we're all going to be.
When a certain number of us hit a certain number too, we're going to pull them up in whether they want to or not.
Well, it's not even. It's not even. It's just.
It's like we're like going into the next. They call it like the 3D and the 4D and all that kind of stuff.
And that's where you have to even
believe in that.
No, everything, even us pulling people up, we're just more just being us, and people see us just being us, and they're like, hey, what are they doing? It's not making us any more special than they are, or
no.
Because even that part, like, oh, we'll pull each other up, that could have the spiritual community have really gotten a hold of that and made it twisted it to, the spiritual ego. See, and that's where you gotta be careful of that. So that's where I had to step, like, we're stepping away from all that bull crap and just go, we're just gonna be us, and this is how I'm gonna be, and we're gonna talk about it, and we're not gonna be scared about sharing. We're not gonna be, like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, this one. Oh, yeah. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, I decided to do this and this and this and. Oh, did you hear about this and this and this? And what about this? And I was able to do that last weekend and just share and talk, and it was amazing. And I had, these beautiful people I grew up with. I mean, I went to high school, and we were in the band together, and his parents and my parents are friends, and they worked at GE together, my dad and his dad, and it's just, it was beautiful to sit with them and just not caring about what anybody thought of me and just speaking truth and being able to, whether they accepted it or not, but being in a atmosphere, because I don't talk, he had my back. He was like, we got this kind of thing. And so it's not even I worried about him, with his parents, because I know his parents love me. They trust me. Why would I say anything that didn't make, and what I was saying made sense. And they're like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, whoa. And, just talking about their health and what's going on and feeling into their shoulder. And they're like, whoa. But it's just sharing who I am. And I even said this to him. I go, thank you for just allowing me to be me. Totally me. I mean, we're talking about spirits, you name it. Everything was on the table. And to have that deep conversation. I mean, I haven't seen him since our reunion in 5 years. But it was like we stepped right back into it again. Like we never missed a beat. And we were good friends in high school. We were in the band together and all that. And it was beautiful because it was someone who you could actually share with on every aspect and not having to worry about that. I just felt the safety of me, whether he accepted it or not. I had the safety of me to do that. And that was in the first, like, I've been practicing it with, my family. Uh, And practicing it, especially with my kids, they just go, okay, mom. And there's other times like, oh, yeah, mom. And other times, okay, mom. Um, and even their friends, I'll dabble, I'll say something, and they just look at me. Or even the neighbor kids
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, they said, well, what's that? And I go, it's a nebulizer. And they go, well, what's that for? And he's 10. And I said, well, I put hydrogen peroxide, saline, and iodine in here. I go, and it helps Brady breathe. Really? I said, yeah. And I go, it helped me breathe too. Really? I said, yeah, it helped open my lungs up so I could breathe more. He said, whoa. And then we were talking about how he needed a pill to eat chocolate, milk, and stuff like that. I said, well, there's other things out there that you could have that's close to milk and stuff, but aren't, that won't make your tummy yucky.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I said, yeah. I said, have your mom talk to me about it, and I'll help her find that for you. Or
Oh,
you know,
like the good probiotics I found too. There's one because milk has been weird. I don't know what they've done if they're adding too many hormones to it or what is. That's my theory on it. But it's made out of coconut milk. It's called So Delicious, and it's
yeah,
just like a yogurt.
good.
Have you ever had it?
No, I've seen it in the stores though. Yeah.
So Delicious is dairy free. It's coconut milk.
Cocoa
It
looks
tastes
good.
it tastes just like yogurt. It actually tastes better than yogurt.
I find that
And
too.
then I get my probiotics with it too.
Yep, yep, yep.
So it settles my stomach.
Good, good. You find something that works for you, and that's what. See, we're not supposed to really have dairy because having somebody else's milk is not what really we're designed for, and so it causes inflammation. Milk does. It's like cow's milk, but if we get
Yeah.
plant milk, like uh, almond,
Almond. I drink almond.
I drink a lot of almond milk. Almond,
Yeah.
or coconut or oat
Mm-hmm.
even. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of different milks out there now. Macadamia nut I saw, like that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's hemp seed milk,
Yeah. This wasn't my choice. My body
flax
said,
seed. Yeah,
about 8 months or so ago, it said, nope, 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 you can't do this no more. And
exactly.
I was
And
like,
that's
okay.
and that's why we substitute milk for almond milk or even
Yep.
like creamer and stuff like that. We put almond milk in there
Me
instead
too.
because it's just easier. It doesn't make the inflammation in our stomachs. And that's what
Uh-huh.
just talking to that little kid, 10 years old out there. about little things and but I, one of the kids was having uh, some issues with another kid in the block here, and Ben comes running on. You need to talk to mom. You need to come out and talk to him. I said, talk to him about what? He goes, well, there's this mean kid across the way. He called him fat. Da 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 da. So I, well, he goes, he wants to talk to you. Okay, so I went outside, and being, the child, that counselor that I was, but I took from what I remembered by being the counselor for a gazillion years, but then putting the spiritual twist to it too, and talking about more how he just need to focus on loving yourself. And I go, do you think that you're that way? He goes, no. I said, what do you see about yourself? And it's just having him talk about himself in a positive state. Um, it was starting to shift the energy. We're talking about it, moving the energy. I go, you just moved a whole bunch of yucky energy um, from you that hurt your heart. I said, you just took it and you dissolved it. And he's like, wow, I feel better now. I said, yeah, I know, because you did that. And it's just little things that we could do, just being us, just being us. And we
I
and we
talk like that. And my son, he's starting to talk more and more like it. Before he'd be like, "Mom, I know you're right about a lot of things, but sometimes you're out there." Now it's
yeah,
like he's agreeing more and
right.
more.
I know.
It's fun.
And
Quite
it
funny.
is. It is just being us being us. And just being us in every situation. And and not not backing down to who we are. Just being us, purely just being us all the time. And that's where things will really start to move in this world, is all of us
Hmm.
just be authentic and real and heartfelt and compassionate and empathetic, and things will shift dramatically in this world. And we love ourselves and we love others.
I had to stop worrying about how people viewed me as whatever. I'd be like,
Yeah,
"Yep, that's me. I'm out there. I don't care. We're
yeah,
just gonna talk about whatever.
yeah.
You either
And
take me
whatever.
or you don't."
Yep. And that's what it is. We just are truth, just blatantly, obviously authentic, and there's
Uh
nothing to
huh.
hide anymore. And it felt it's and I just thank people, and they're just like, what? I go, you don't understand. When you have been hiding for years and years and years and years and years, and you just sitting here in my presence and allowing me to speak my truth means the world, and that means that that person will allow that with somebody else, perhaps a spouse who they don't may be arguing with, to sit in that kind of energy, just to allow everything to be, and not to have sides, but to say, this is my truth, this is how I feel, and can you honor that? Yeah. Can you honor how I feel? Yeah. And can we just be in that together? We don't have to agree to love each other. We don't have to be on the same side, because that's duality. Can we just be together and maybe not see eye to eye, but still care about each other and love each other? That's kind of like what my ex and I have decided to do, because that's the only energy I'll allow. I go, well, this is the way it is. I love you and accept you for who you are and what you're doing and what you continue to do. I'm not going to change you, but me being me and loving you has changed him for him loving himself more. So we do affect others by how we are, because I had to love and accept myself for who I was, and not apologizing for being who I am. gave me the ability to not want to change him any longer. And once I stopped that and just loved him for him, he's shifted. Not completely, but started to. And it has been wonderful watching that. And my computer's dying and making noises. So I guess it's time to go. Let's go. Boop, 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 boop. It sounds like it's going to shut down. So on that point, let's just go out and live our life the way we're going to live our life. And be who we're going to be. Unapologetically. And just be that love. See everybody's higher self.
Right. I've been looking for my own happiness and what I really truly inside of me is going to make me feel fulfilled and happy. And then I keep going towards that.
It's just us. It's just
Yeah.
us. We see God in everything. And that's just, that alone will be the happiness. That alone is the happiness. It's like, we just love and accept ourselves. Boom. Happiness. Because you're not like, oh, all that outside stuff don't matter anymore.
Right.
And so, instantaneous happiness. Because we have just accepted ourselves for us. And love ourselves in that, no matter what state we're in. We could be pissed off, we could be steaming like a demon, but we're still loving ourselves through it. And that's we're allowing ourselves, and then we come back and we're like, wow, we accepted ourselves
Yeah.
in that moment of fuckery where we wanted to rip somebody a new one, but we didn't.
Yeah. I used to
We
hide my emotions and stuff. Now I just let everybody see it as much as possible. I don't care.
and then when that energy flows through you, it's not as violent as it used to be because it's being seen, and so it doesn't have to make such a tantrum anymore. Because the more that we acknowledge ourselves in those emotions, it's not as loud anymore. I noticed
And it
that.
doesn't come out my body anymore in pain.
Yeah, yeah. Because yesterday when I started really worrying about stuff and what, oh my god, what am I gonna do? My baby, and I had this, oh, Chrissy, I had to bring myself back. And I said, sure, Brady, I'll take that hug right now. That would be awesome. Because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not in my heart right now. They said, my heart already knows what to do. My heart, my soul, everything, my higher self knows what to do. What are you doing? It's the initial holy fuck. That's what it was. And oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But then you can say, no, my body's got this. It's been doing it all along. Now I know. And now I know how to course correct and say, okay, we're gonna make our own bread. We're gonna make our own stuff. We're gonna really dive into this because anything that is made with the outside water, and we're not having anything to do with it. We don't know where it's coming from. So we're gonna take that our power back from them, and we're gonna keep going and just be natural as can be. Back to my
Yep.
grandma's days. I'll have her guide me along the way. That's the beautiful thing. Is we know that they're right there. Help us make this recipe because I don't know how to do it. Okay, you put it this, and they'll just guide us around the way. Beautiful thing. And we're open to that, and they're with us always. So, with that being said, there's gonna be a lot of shit coming out this week, and I don't know. They might stop the internet because it's coming out. I don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is that I we're prepared for whatever is coming down the pike, and we got this. We got this because we know that we got this, and that's all it's been. It's not we won or light wins. That's still a duality. What it is we have it. We become our own masters of everything, of our mind, body, our thoughts, our emotions. We're becoming the masters of us. That's all it's been. It's not about this, about this and this. And that's what the duality and even the spirituality crap. It is a war. Yeah, it's a war for us, but we can step out of it and go, Master, we're just going to sit over here and master ourselves and have our own little community, have our own little wealth system, have our own little wellness system, live off the grid, live off our nature, live off this, live off that. And we're learning how to take it back from the corporations that have been stuffing it down our throats for as long as we've been alive.
Oh yeah.
So we just take that back. Here's yet another step: how to take back of our water sovereignty, our food sovereignty. How do we take that back? Growing our own shit, making our own stuff. Trust the viable sources that have organic flour or organic uh, almond milk. Move to Texas, move to Florida, sovereign states, you know? Because PA sure as heck isn't one of them.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that too. I'm like, I'm not rooted here any longer. I can actually move, but I'm not going yet. I'm just looking.
We are here for a little while longer, and then wherever it takes us, takes us.
Right. I'm not planning it, but I don't think we're rooted anymore here.
No, it's we just need to
I'm getting
go
my
where we
to-go
need to
bag
go.
ready.
Yeah, and it is. It's just
Got my sleeping bag, a new flashlight, some iodine. I'm getting it all ready to go, just in case.
it's just it's
It don't hurt
we're
nothing.
gonna be sovereign wherever we're at because we got
Yep.
this. We got this. We know what's going on, and that's 90% of it is knowing what's going on, and the other it is claiming our sovereignty as just stepping into our true selves and just being us and loving every minute of it because we're finally allowed to be ourselves because we're giving ourselves permission to be ourselves because we've we finally got there. We finally allowed ourselves to be ourselves, and so that others will allow that too. As I saw last weekend, I allowed myself to speak because my part of me was like, no, don't say shit in front of his parents. Then the other one just said, just say it. This is who you are. Boom, out it came, and they're like, whoa, and they're like, how that makes so much sense, and da da da. I'm like, yeah, of course it does. And I go, and I even told him, I said, part of me told me not to say anything, and then I told the other part, no, that's okay. I know who we are. And that's all. And they're like, what? I said, yeah. I said, there's always parts of us that don't think that we have it. And I'll go, that's the where we just have to go, no, Chrissy, little Chrissy, we got this now. And then other people will accept it too because you accept yourself. And those people will come to you. Just like we're in front of each other right now, we accept each other. We accept ourselves.
Uh-huh.
You accept that girl. You saw her higher self. Is that it? All the angst and shit dissipated.
Right.
Amazing magic of just us stepping into our sovereignty. So thank you for sharing tonight. Thank you for joining. And next week I'll have the name of that special seaweed mixture that I have. Um, that is magical.
You gonna be on next week? You're not doing any kind of
That I know of.
Easter stuff.
Probably. No, well, no. Nothing like it used to be. Um,
Me either. I don't do holidays like I used to.
no, everything's kind of, just a little bit by little bit for the boys' sake. I still do
Yeah.
little stuff,
It's
but not
it's
like I
been way
used
too
to.
commercialized for me for years, so I
Yeah.
kind of backed off of all that holiday stuff.
Yeah, I just do things very bare minimum. Just to, it's. would celebrate what, just being us and what they want. Well, at least my youngest. Mom, so candy. What would be really
Chocolate
cool
candy.
would be to
Chocolate bunny.
Lego Star Wars.
Oh,
That's all I want. And I'm like, so instead of a chocolate bunny, all you want is Lego Star Wars. She goes, yep.
there you go.
And that's even, part of like, well, do we really need to have a holiday to do this? No.
No.
No. I
I've been
go,
that way for years.
me
I just
too.
almost
And he
hate
goes,
holidays because I want to celebrate. I want to get you something. I want to give it to you
yeah,
whenever I want to, not for a
yeah,
holiday.
right, right. And, my other parts of my family still are very entrenched in that. And so it's kind of hard. I go, why don't we just have an experience? I always say that. Why don't we just have and go somewhere, do something together, have an experience, go on vacation, somewhere, go to Texas, go to Florida. I don't know. Um, so yeah, I'm putting it out there to the wind. So
Mhm.
universe, we'll see where we land. But yeah, it is. It's choosing what we and how we are, and when we start to accept ourselves, other people will do the same. And if they don't, then maybe they will next time. Just don't stop being you. I've come way too far to go back now. Unapologetically. You get the fuckery along with it all. Woo! Lucky everybody. But have a wonderful week. And on that note, have a beautiful week. Enjoy your
You too.
fuckery. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.